Lower to the grave, tell you like it is to your face, she don't play. Every chick down for it all, know that she a boss. No competition, no loss. From the Midwest to the A, Autumn got you tuning in, no delay. Ooh, get you right every time. Keep you laughing on a dime. Tell you truth, no lies. So you can live your best life. Cover all topics, no limits. Got some for your mama and your children, no holding back. No gimmicks, coming on strong, get straight to business. Oh yeah. What she wanna do? Live life, live life. She live what she wanna do. Live life, live life, live life. What she wanna do. Live life, live life. She live what she wanna do. Live life, live life, live life. Live life, live life.
Hey, it's your girl Autumn, and I welcome you back to the Lit Life podcast, where I encourage you to live your life autonomously. We've been having some technical difficulties over here on everybody's end, but we here. I want to welcome you guys to my I'm still doing the living your dreams or living my dreams series. I don't even know what the hell I be calling it no more, but whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying. And I have a very, I know I be saying special guest all the time, but no, seriously, y'all. I have a very, very, very special guest. Finally, we've been trying to, we've been trying to link, and it just hasn't been happening, but finally she's here, and I am so happy about this. Before you even say anything, I know, listen, if y'all watching, y'all know, well, y'all already know who the hell it is because you've seen the thing. But anyways, I'm gonna tell my fucking story anyway. When I was building my brand, when I first started my podcast, and I was like listening to other people's podcasts, and I'm like, all of their like intro music and stuff, it just really fit them to a T. It was like, man, they really like somebody really wrote this shit, and they really, it sounds great, and it fits their show, it fits who they are. And I was like, you know what, I'm about to, I'm gonna just go ahead and pay for somebody to do an intro for me. And I reached out to a lot of people, actually. Like, I put it on Twitter, and I did have a couple of people like hit me up about it. I really wasn't feeling what they gave me. So something tells me, and I'm never on Facebook, y'all. Y'all know I hate Facebook. But something tells me, go on Facebook and put it in one of your sorority groups. So I did that. One of the sorors recommended me to her, and the rest is history. Y'all already know what it is. It's your girl, Great Genius. Yay! Welcome to the show.
Okay, crowd. Okay. Well, thank you for having me. Finally, we in here. Finally.
Yes. So welcome to the show. Like, let me tell you, I'm so damn proud. I'm never changing my intro. I'm so proud of my intro. You don't even understand. Like, I have talked so much shit about this intro, and people really relate, the intro to me. So, and we're gonna go into that in a little bit, but I just had to get that out first, and then I'm gonna have to get it out again. But anyways, so how have you been doing? Like, how have you been? I always like to kind of just check in with my guests to see, how the last year or so been going with all the bullshit that's going on.
In this moment, I am great. Last year was ass. But in this moment, I am so much better than last year. Ups and downs, whole panorama that we just went through.
Right. Still.
Through. So yeah, I don't know. I'm good. I'm great. I'm having a, good time already.
Good. Well, that's good to hear, because, people are really struggling. Like, I think I tweeted today, like, people are really unraveling, and they're starting to see the different layers of themselves, and they're starting to see the different layers of people around them. And it's really shaking things up. And not knowing when we're really going to get back to or when we're going to get to our new norm. Like, we just don't know. And people are just like fucking losing it. And I get it, because I'm like on the edge myself. Like, this is like, come on, dog. This is just ridiculous. So it's good. It's good to hear that that you're doing well. I'm just so happy that you're here. So, but look, this is what we're gonna do. Y'all already know how we do. We're gonna go ahead and get the show started off right. So we're gonna go ahead and get this award out the way. Shut the fuck up. God damn, nigga. So it's y'all favorite part of the show. It's the Shut the Fuck Up Awards. And for those of you who don't know what the Shut the Fuck Up Awards are, it is just a small segment that everybody loves because you could come on here and you could tell a person, a group of people, a collective, a movement, a damn political party. I don't care who it is. You could tell them to shut the fuck up with your whole chest, and we're going to hope that they hear it. So I'm going to let you go first.
First of all, I don't really get into things like this. I'm going to say this. I'm not political at all. So what I'm about to say is like not the norm. But the damn government can shut the fuck up with this whole Biden and the IRS going over the $600 situation. I don't know if you heard about it.
Wait, what? $600 situation?
So they're trying to pass, I guess, it's a part of the Biden administration and what he's trying to do. And mind you, I don't have the correct terms, but goddamn it, what I heard.
It's fine because I be fucking everything up. It's cool.
But essentially, if you have over $600, coming into your bank account, they're going to start monitoring. And I guess the IRS is going to start possibly flagging and stuff like that. And they're just going to start checking, I guess, more frequently to get people who are supposed to be paying the right amount of taxes to pay them. But all I see is like this shit ain't gonna work. Like it's because one, the IRS, do they have enough employees to do this? No,
absolutely
like, check everybody. Girl. And two, most of the times, like I feel like it's gonna start hitting at the smaller businesses first before it really get to the bigger moguls or whoever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like y'all really trying to come after like the small. I know what they're trying to do. I know what they're getting at, but I feel like it's just not gonna work. And I'm like, shut the hell up, because I'm like,
right. Well, so I feel like I saw something about this, but I didn't look too deep into it. So I'm glad you explained it to me. So the IRS, technically, you're supposed to report $600, right?
Yes.
What this says to me is they're just trying to find money at this point. Like they done got ran through with these PPP loans that I don't care who you put in jail, y'all not getting that shit back.
Nope.
So you know what I'm saying? So they're getting ran through with all the other different little types of fraud that's been going on. I honestly, if you get away with that shit, do it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. Like take all you need as long as you get away with it. But yeah, I think somebody had tweeted like about Cash App. Like they were gonna start reporting from Cash App. So Cash App probably reached out to them if they're categorized as a business or whatever, and was like, "Hey, we have to report this to the IRS." So I mean, technically you're supposed to, but they never really was on it like that. So that's surprising. And you're right, they don't have enough people working for the IRS.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's just gonna be a pain in the butt for the banks, the day-to-day entrepreneur. Because I mean, there's little stuff you can do, like, you know what I'm saying, where I think it's a little dog walking app or like Lyft and little stuff that people do they don't really got it like that, but they they about to start cracking down. It's like, come on, man, like, come on, like, chill. And
it's the wrong thing to be focused on right now, to be honest.
But yeah, no, I agree with you though. They just trying to get some coins back. That's really all it is. They didn't plan it out when they first started paying out these checks, and they like, well, we got to get back now. Come on, we got to. So,
yep, it sound like a straight money hunt, and the thing is, like, off of $600, like, if the folks didn't offer to pay the taxes on it, do you think it, maybe they ain't got, didn't have it to pay the taxes on it? Like, it's $600 damn dollars, like. Come on, it's gonna be a few dollars off of that. Like who?
Yeah. That's why I feel like the threshold should have been a little bit higher, because you're trying to get the rich to pay more taxes or pay. You know what I mean? I'm like, bump the threshold up, bump it up just for this particular, bill that you're trying to pass. But
yeah, that's stupid. That's real stupid. But so that was a good one though. That was a good one. First of all, I gotta show y'all, if you're watching on YouTube. Let me show y'all my new coffee mug. Like, it says, "How about a nice hot cup of shut the fuck up?" Like, this is one of my favorite mugs now. Y'all know I have like too many. But I had to make myself some tea because my voice was shaky. But anyways, let me tell y'all. I always tell a little story about my shut the fuck
Do
up.
you think? Do you
So
think?
I don't know if you've been having the scammers call you from Xfinity.
Oh no.
Okay. So every day I get probably at least between 2 and 3 calls from quote unquote Xfinity. So they call and they say, they're you could hear everything in the background. It's like really, really loud. Like worse than a call center. Like it's just loud, and they have really thick accents, so you have to like kind of ask them to repeat themselves and stuff. And they're like, "Hi, we're calling from Xfinity, and we need to send an update to your modem so that your internet services will continue to work, and they won't, nothing will happen to them." And so the first couple of times I just hung up because I knew it wasn't them. I knew it wasn't Xfinity, because when Xfinity calls, it says Xfinity. These people are calling from my home area code. And actually, if you call the number back, it's probably somebody else's number. Like I've accidentally called back and it was some random lady. So they're like literally spoofing numbers. But anyways, so they're telling me, and I'm like, all right, yeah, okay. So, well, what do you need me to do? Because from now on, I feel like I have time because I be pissing them off. I'm like, what do you need me to do? And they're like, okay, well, are all the lights on your modem working? And I'm like, yeah, everything's, green, and the bottom one is flashing. And they're like, okay, well, we need you to go into your laptop, get your laptop, and you need to go into basically the command prompt and run ms config, and tell them what I have when I run that script or whatever. And then they're gonna say, oh yeah, so this and this, we need to take that out. We need to basically, they're trying to get you to do some shit on your computer, and they're gonna have you go to a website, and probably all your shit is gonna lock up, and you're gonna have to pay to get it unlocked. It's definitely a scam. But what they don't know, until I tell them every single time, I worked for Comcast for years as a technical support rep.
Oh, they called the wrong one.
Every single time. Like I did what they're doing. First of all, we're not gonna call anybody. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that's messed up, they might send out a mass email or some shit like that, and they're not gonna use us to call. People call in if they're having an issue, and I'd be like, so y'all can't send a push, y'all can't send an update directly to the modem through the cable? Like you can't, like there's nothing that I need to do on the computer for you to send an update to my modem. Like they be so pissed. Like I have gotten hung up on. Today the guy told me, yeah, you think you know everything. Girl, he was so mad. They hang up on me every time. I keep them on. I waste their time, girl. I keep them on the phone as long as I possibly can if I ain't doing nothing. And I just really want to tell them to shut the fuck up, because y'all not gonna continue to call me and think y'all about to scam me. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the scamming is at an all-time high. It is ridiculous out here. So
it's a lot. The car, that's the first time I heard of Xfinity. I hope they don't start coming up here, like, because they already doing the cars, they already doing the Medicaid, Medicare, whatever. And I'm like, y'all tripping.
My work phone always get calls for the car warranty and something else, maybe some sort of insurance, all the time.
I mean, they got to get back. I guess they got to get what they need. But come on, I don't.
Man, not with me. But the guy today actually asked me. He was like, because he was, like I said, he was pissed off. He was like, "You think you know everything?" He was like, "Do you work for Comcast?" I said, "Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, I did for years, which is exactly why I know that whatever it is that you're trying to do has nothing to do with." And he was just so mad. Like they will yell. Like he was so frustrated. Ma'am, I'm just trying to. No, you're not.
Yeah, I done heard them yelling. I'm like, who would you talk to? But I don't understand why they just don't get rid of your number once they realize they can't sell it to, like, move on.
And it's the same scam. Like it really makes me wonder how it works. It's like, are they like maybe contracting people and giving the people all the same call list? Because typically, you know, like with telemarketers and stuff, the calls are automatic. There's nobody dialing these numbers. The calls, you know, go out automatically with telemarketing. So it makes me wonder, like, do they just have like this massive list and people are just going down the list and just calling, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
girl, I'll be so over it. But listen, when I got the time, I'm gonna give it to him. Like, I'm a waste this 10 minutes. I'm gonna waste it, because why are you calling me with this bullshit?
Yeah.
So
I just want to get them off the phone ASAP. Like, nah.
Right, like, not interested. Click.
Mm-hmm.
Not they call right back too.
They will. You block one number, they coming with a new number. It's like, come on. Like, but I wonder how much they get paid to do that though. Like, that's my
well, I mean, and that's why I'd be wondering if it's like contractors or something. Like, are they like calling, and if it works, like if they get whatever they get, is it theirs, and maybe they pay a portion to whoever, you know what I mean? Like, you know what, I'm about to I'm gonna look into that and see what they be doing, because it's crazy. It is so wild. They have the exact same script, the exact, I mean, word for word, it's the exact same script. And then they asked me, you know, if what my name was and my address, and they're saying it because of course they have it, because they got, you know, whatever shit from Xfinity. It was probably some sort of data breach, you know, back in, you know, a while ago or something. So of course they have all of that, but I'm not like confirming any of it. I was like, well, who did you call? Who did you call? Girl, it's a mess. So anyways, they can shut the fuck up, and anybody affiliated with them, or if y'all, you know what, just scammers in general, like,
yeah,
scammers that's trying to scam Black folks, like, all of y'all can shut the fuck up. Like, I don't, it just is what it is. But anyways, so we have the artist Gray Genius here on the Lit Life podcast, and I'm so excited. Like I was telling y'all earlier today, she is the voice behind my intro. She do what she want to do. Ooh, everybody love it. Everybody love it. And so there was a process, which, and I've told several people, because, you know, when they first heard, they're like, oh my God, this is it. I'm like, there was a process. I was actually surprised by the process, because this is something that I had never done. So I'm just thinking, you know, I'm gonna just, you know, say, hey, this is it. And so I emailed you, and she emailed back, and there was like questions, you know, and it's like, hey, you know, basically just around the show itself, about me, like very, you know, detailed questions. So I was like, oh, okay, but I guess that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So that she could really, you know, put together whatever it is she really wants to put together for it. And again, I got it back, and I listened to it like the first time, and I was like, let me run this back real quick.
Let me make sure.
Right. And I listened to it again, and I'm a person that's about lyrics. Like, the beat was fly already, but I be wanting to hear what people have to say, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, she really got me down to a T. Like, she really, really did that shit.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
and I'm gonna continue to like just hype it up. Like I said, I don't ever feel like I'm going to change it. I be low key wanting to like freestyle over it, but I
Part
ain't no
two.
artist. Like I'm gonna have to get like drunk or something and then just start spitting, just turn it on, just and see what the hell come out. It's gonna be real crazy. But anyway, so I tell us how you tell me when you knew that doing what you do is what you wanted to do. So you sing,
Yep.
you rap.
Yep.
Do you do like spoken word?
I don't. A lot of people think I do, but I don't.
Okay. So when did all of this like click for you? What was first? Let me ask you that. Was it like the singing, the rapping, and how did it come about?
I think it was the singing. First of all, I've been doing this for a while, like since I was a kid, a little kid. My pops used to make music. My mom and grandma used to sing at church. So I was always around music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I would just sing around, whatever, blah blah blah. But when it clicked is after I quit, to be honest,
When you
because
quit singing?
when I quit, just I'm like I'm not doing music anymore. I'm gonna just go to college, whatever. It is what it is. Um, when I started to just write, because it was always therapeutic for me. I just started writing, and then I started making songs again, and then I'm like, oh, like what you doing? You getting back into it, like you. And I just couldn't stay away from it. And I realized I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. Like I'm supposed to be an artist. I'm supposed to be expressive and in entertainment. And you know what I'm saying? So that's
Mm-hmm.
really when it clicked. Like this is what you're gonna be doing. So like suck it up. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what is like okay, and so at that point, when did you like introduce like when did you start rapping? Like was it around the
Oh, I
same time
started
when you
when I first started singing. I was maybe like 5 or 6, singing Tony Braxton "Unbreak My Heart." That was the first song I remember singing ever.
Aw, that's a jam.
One of those people.
A
But
jam.
rapping, I made my first song when I was like 11. In terms of like little kids playing and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But when I'm like start saying I want to rap seriously, so around the same time. But in terms of like saying Great Genius has created this project, that was 2012 when I first made my first hip hop record, and
Okay.
then I went back to singing, and I was like, let me just see if I can make an R&B song. Let me just see if I can write one, because that's the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing to me. Like, can I write the record? Like, can I do it and see how it comes out? And I've been rolling ever since. Like, so yeah.
That is what's up. So your name though, tell me about your name. Tell me how you got the name Great Genius.
Yeah. So, you go through different names and whatnot. This is not my first name. I'm not saying my first name either, but
Okay.
it's terrible. But great to me, it was. But music and the creation of it, it's not black and white, it's a fusion of things. And I feel like that's the color gray, it's a mixture. And I think it's the genius
Mm-hmm.
to create music. So that's why I just combined it, and I've been going with it. Great genius.
That's unique. I like that. I really like that. That's what's up. So you said you came back 2018. Is that
When
when you
I
said you made your first
2012 is when I dropped my first like mixtape. Then 2014 I dropped another one, and I took a nice hiatus. And 2018 is when I came back with Late Night School Drinks, which is the last project I dropped.
okay, so writing or creating that first that your first project, how
Mhm.
what was the process like? Do you remember it? Like
Yeah. Um, I was alongside a group of people who were creating music as well at that time. So we were
mhm,
just feeding off each other. But my biggest thing was to get farther like than my pops did. At the point in time, he didn't, so I had personal drive in the sense of like, I gotta release a project. I gotta release a
mhm,
project. So in terms of writing it, it was about trying to have the best bars, trying to up myself. I was always trying to compete with my last best song, if that makes sense. So
mhm.
it was mainly about just making the best records that I could. I was still young then, so I didn't know too much about the industry, but just making songs, just feeling it. Like that sound good. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah,
sound good.
yeah.
I wasn't thinking too much about it, you know. And I
Is
just
it?
went
But do you have
a process, you mean?
like a thing you do? Like so you know how like some like basketball players like
Mhm.
before they get ready to go out they have this thing that they do. Do you have like this thing that you do before, like say for instance before you like actually go into the booth, and not
Got you.
necessarily with writing because I'm pretty sure that you can just write at any time, but
Mhm.
like just going in to record the record, like do you have like a process there?
It's changed over the years. I'll say that. And now I kind of write and record at the same time, and that's the biggest thing that changed. I used to just write my songs and then go in and be like, all right. But now that I have my home set up, my studio set up at the house, it's kind of a fluid process. So it's not like I'm turning it up. It's like I turn the beat on and I kind of vibe out and flow. You know what I mean? I flow it out and then I might add the words later to it. So it's a better process for me now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just come up and start anytime I feel it, or whenever, if I have to clock in and say, okay, you ain't wrote, let's go play with some beats, let's go play with, some songs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
because
yeah.
I know, like for me, like recording, like my process has changed. Like
Hmm.
but the one thing that hasn't changed is it still takes me. Like I have to like get started like a hour early. And when I say get started, it's like I gotta make sure everything is set up. Then I have to sit here and look stupid for a minute. Then I'd be like, oh, I forgot this. And, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to
Yeah.
have like this time, this set of time so that I can make
Mhm.
sure that when it's time to get on here, that I'm ready to go. So,
Gotcha.
I always like to know like what people's creative processes are. It's always interesting.
Right.
So, so what type of artist would you categorize yourself as? Like, do you feel like you fit in any specific genre? Because, like I said, you sing, you rap. I mean, w-
Primarily, I would say, see, the genre starting to change too. I can fit in like a lo-fi R&B, a traditional kind of R&B, melodic hip hop, kind of those that range. So I'm trying to think, is there any other? I dabble in pop.
mhm,
Not gonna lie, kind of the alternative
mhm.
popish, sad girl emo type stuff sometimes. So that's the best that's the best definition I could give you, because it's kind of fluid. But I would say pop, R&B, hip hop, and then like the mini genres that, or the sub genres, I would say that fall underneath that.
What is out of your? And I know this might be a hard question, but
Okay.
what out of the collection of music that you have created, do you
Mhm.
have a favorite song that you like to perform?
So, okay, I didn't know if he's gonna say play or perform. My favorite song to perform.
Like, what's the one song that you just know you gon' like is
Yeah.
just you gonna feel it, is gonna everybody is gonna see exactly what you're feeling through this song.
Someone say it's all of them, but
I told you it was gonna be a hard one.
probably for now, double up. I'll say that.
And tell
I'll
us a
say that.
little bit about what it's about.
Double up.
The inspiration behind the song.
What you said? Shut the fuck up earlier. So telling a nigga to going through the process of just that breakup, trying to,
Mhm.
thinking back about how it went, kind of reminiscing over how things went down, and essentially, and this is not necessarily good. People shouldn't do this, but drinking through your pain, drinking through your problems, essentially. So kind of in that state. I don't know if you ever, been in that space where it's like, man, fuck this, and you drinking and you kind of like, oh, this nigga, it's kind of that. It's
Right.
kind of,
You just like this some bullshit. I'm about to drink
there you go, exactly. So,
and let me get this shit off my chest type of
exactly.
situation.
I
See?
love. I would say I love performing that song, just because most of the time people already got their drinks and we in a vibe and we in space where it's like, double up, and it kind of play on words too with the cups and stuff like that. So drinking in general. So yeah, that's probably one of the favorites so far, I
So
say.
do you remember like your first performance, uh not like at church or anything like
Right.
that, but maybe like at a venue or Anything like that? Do you remember that? Like how you felt that day?
Very nervous. I was my first like show as an artist. Essentially, you mean? I was like 14, I think, or
Oh, I know
13.
that. Oh, I know that had to be nerve-wracking.
I was nervous, but I loved the song that I made, and I was proud of it. So I'm like, y'all gonna get it, and I'm thankful that I had to perform in church because I had the stage presence. I wasn't too afraid of performing in in the crowds and stuff like that, or performing the stage. But yeah, I was nervous. It was because I was young. I was probably one of the youngest people performing at that event. And
Mhm.
at the time, everybody with their white tees, and that was that era, like everyone
Yeah,
white tees,
yeah.
dance music, and I'm like, all right, we're just gonna do it. But when I got up there, I didn't even think about none of that other stuff because I was up there at that
Right.
point.
Right. You can't
I
really
was at
think of it
home,
at that point. You're like, well, I'm here.
right?
Let me go ahead and do this.
Yeah. I always get a little nervous, but I think that's a good thing. Like if you ain't got no nerves of what you're doing, then I don't know if you should be doing it. That's just my thing. Like, but just a little bit. I'm used to it now.
So you mentioned your dad. Do you get a lot of
Right.
did you get a lot of your influence with music from him?
It was a mix between the two. I think the rapping, that's kind of the first person I seen. I said, okay, that's how I'm supposed to rap in a sense until I found my own style, if you will.
Mhm.
But it was more of a competition, I think, for me. It's like I gotta up you. I gotta do better than you. I gotta, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I gotta show you that I got it, and you sit down. Like that was my mentality, and I think that's just how hip hop is. It's like it's a battle versus like friendly
Yeah,
competition.
I was actually just talking about how I didn't like how when like somebody there's a feature. So like
Mhm.
the prime example is Renegade by Eminem and
Mhm.
Jay-Z.
Mhm.
And so how people always say, Eminem washed Jay-Z. And I get frustrated with that because I'm like, well, they decided to do the song together, so it wasn't really
Right.
a
Right.
competition. But then my homie 12 Kyle schooled me on it and was like, because he's like a huge like hip hop head. Like he's
Mhm.
like you can ask him anything about hip hop and he gonna know. Like
Mhm.
dates, times, everything. Shout out to
Oh,
12 Kyle.
okay.
So what he said was he was like, Autumn, it's just hip hop. Like that's
Mhm.
just what hip hop is. And of course it came from the reference from, what Nas said in his song or whatever. But like he was like, it's just a part of hip hop. And I guess I
Mhm.
can understand that because I mean there's always just I guess even with the verses and stuff, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
these
Yeah.
people are actually cool,
Mhm.
but it's really like a low key competition going on there. Like it kind
Yeah.
of comes out, especially these recent ones. Like it kind of comes out on stage, like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go ahead and one up you. So I get that. So if you could perform
Mhm.
like in your wildest dreams, like we gonna go out on a limb and like it could definitely happen, but it's a wild dream, right?
Right. Right.
Who would you like to perform with?
Um, who I want to perform with?
Like who like
First time
who
anybody ever.
like who would you if you could
That's like
like
who my
join
favorite.
somebody on stage
Got you.
for whatever type of song, maybe it's your song, maybe they're a feature on your song, maybe you're a feature on
Uh-huh.
theirs. Like what would be like the ultimate like, oh my God, I cannot believe I just performed with
I will probably, and I was just talking about this the other day. Probably Missy Elliott. I think at least because it's not anybody new that I'm like, okay, yes, I have to perform with you.
uh-huh
Missy, just because of the influence, she be turned on stage or says
man.
yes. Like the energy, I feel like it would be bananas. And that's somebody I definitely want to work with still to this day. Like, still want to work with me. So probably Missy Elliott.
That would I could see that. I could definitely
I would love to.
definitely see that. That'll be lit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna put that up. We're gonna put that out in
It's
the
gonna happen.
universe
It's
for
gonna
you,
happen.
cause yeah, that would be lit as hell, boy. You wouldn't be able to shut me up. Y'all see it? I'll be retweeting that shit every chance I get. Y'all see it. Y'all see it.
No, that's definitely gonna happen for sure. For sure.
Yes. So real like, what do you think about stan culture? Like, how do you feel about this? Like, so
Okay.
okay. First of all, we all know, because I know some people get irritated with, either being called a stan or calling people a stan because it came from, Stan, the song by
Right.
Eminem or whatever. And it's
Right.
like pretty damn dark, right?
Yeah.
But, we take stuff, bring a little light to it, laugh about it.
Mm-hmm.
So now all these people who are like just really obsessed with with whoever are called stans. I'm a Raheem Devon stan. Everybody knows this.
Okay.
Like, that's stan. Do you
Yeah,
hear me? Like,
yeah.
it's bad. Like, I think I'm gonna get off of here and tweet him and tell him to check his email, because like, he was supposed to be on the show a long time ago. So I'm gonna probably do that. That's how much of a stan I am.
Gotcha.
But I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, ready to
Stalker
fight
stan?
stan, right?
Oh,
Or
okay,
ready
okay.
to fight. You know what I mean? Because people be ready to fight. So
Okay.
how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like you're a stan of any artist?
I don't see the way cancel culture and things are. That's switching a little bit now. I don't know. I don't know if people are true stans anymore. I don't know. And like, there's people that I love for sure. Like, I love Big Crit, but it's not to the point where I know all the details. I mainly love him. Let's just stick to him.
Okay, just keep it 100. Just keep it
Like,
100 on the show.
but
But
I love his music too. He's very inspirational, and I actually listen to it, but I love him too. So, but I think because it's just like the clout thing, that's kind of like you only really trying to like somebody or saying that you like somebody just to get on, or just to. So I don't know if it's like a true stand-up how it used to be, but in terms of in terms of just being a stand, if you love somebody, you love them. That's it. That's what it is. Like, I don't know. You can't judge nobody for really like loving an artist or somebody that they, listen to or care for or something. I don't think that's too bad. As long as you're not stalking nobody or trying to beat nobody up or trying to, you know what I'm saying, and go crazy for that person. I think it's okay to hold them down though in conversation. Like, I don't
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
but other than that, I don't think it should get to fighting or nothing like that. Like, no crazy over the top stuff.
I think the internet has created a platform for people to just talk sideways, overall, just to talk sideways. So like, a lot of the stands, when you say something that they don't agree with, they literally, I mean, like, it's like you feel like they want to fight. Like, seriously, like, why why are you this angry? It's cool, like you said, have a little back and forth, a intellectual conversation, even if it's kind of like, not heated, but a passionate type of conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love Jill Scott. Like, I feel like it's not a whole lot of people that can do what Jill Scott can do on, her level of music or whatever. And, I'll go back and forth with you on that. I'm not about to really be like trying to like prove nothing, because ultimately it's my opinion, right? Like, I am going to love whoever I'm going to love, but I just think it's so whack when people just like gang up on you. Like, what is wrong with you?
I think the only thing I can think of where it's that deep is like the Beehive. That's the only where it's like you can't say nothing bad about
the Beehive, the Barbs, as of recently, are really acting a fool.
They kind of, I feel like they've been witched. No, I don't know nothing about the Barbs. I'm saying,
they've been on it with all the recent stuff that's been going on with Nicki Minaj. So it's I guess it's just kind of weird to see. You know what I mean? It's just like, why? Like, are you being paid? You know what I mean? Like, are you getting compensated for like being mean and nasty to people who have a different opinion about an artist that you love? Again, I always go back to Raheem DeVaughn because people, he's not like this huge artist, right? He's not like, but he's a big enough artist to where his fan base really, really, really appreciate him. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's just as good as anybody that has gotten a Grammy, but he's never gotten a Grammy. That's my opinion. I'm going to stand strong on it, but I'm not about to be angry with anybody who says, I don't fuck with Raheem DeVaughn. Like, okay, nigga. Like,
okay, right.
Like, I just think it's just
it could be the amount of people that's doing it. And, when somebody say something and somebody else gas somebody up, it's like, all right, like people hop on the bandwagon. Because I actually forgot when you said the Nicki. I said, oh yeah, okay, they exist.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's serious.
Yeah. People gonna do what they gonna do, but I really think it's just the gas. You start lighting it, and the internet just start popping off. They trolling because ain't nobody. I don't think anybody would really say that. All of them, I'll say there's some people who will really say it to somebody's face, like what they talking about on the internet. But it's internet trash, internet talk.
And to your point, about like passive fans, like there are some people who are like, and I'm not like judging their fandom, but they're like very wishy-washy about it, right? It's like, or like a lot of music that comes out now, it's like it doesn't seem to stick. So just like Drake just dropped, his situation, and we're gonna hear about it for like 2, maybe 3 weeks strong. But then you're not really gonna hear about it anymore. Like, you're not gonna see a tweet, you know what I'm saying? Like how music used to like really, really stick to us. Like it seems like artists have to put out so much more music. If you think about it, back in the day, like artists wasn't dropping, you probably ain't gonna get 2 albums from them in a year. Like it just wasn't gonna happen, and we just had to wait. It wasn't nothing getting leaked, none of that stuff. You just had to wait it out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no internet. We just had to wait.
Right.
How does that make you feel? Like knowing that should you live your dream and get to the point of where this is all that you're doing, like how do you feel about thinking like you might have to put music out so much, like to make sure that it's kind of sticking to people, or just to get whatever, like the streams, the fame, whatever it is you need to get.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
So it depends on the type of artist for me. Because I used to be concerned with this, I'll be honest, but then I had to realize the type of artist that I was, and just different examples. I think there's still artists who put out music and take breaks. You got Kendrick, for example.
Man.
J. Cole, he might put out an album a year, if that. Drake actually takes breaks too. He just drops really long projects. So versus like you got like Chris Brown, who might drop a whole bunch of little songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think it's the type of artist that you are. With some of the little rappers like Lil Baby or Da Baby, or you know what I'm saying? Like Megan, they might drop EPs. And I think it's the type of fan base. Like if you got the fan base that consumes so much, and I actually take that back. I feel like it's the artist. It starts with the artist and ends with the artist. If you feeding, the people so much, they're gonna be looking for that amount from you, period. But if you space it out, you give it time, let it soak in, and they actually are your fan or they support you, then they're gonna be rocking with you. And you know what I'm saying? But especially if you're still on social media, like Summer Walker, for example, I'm gonna keep playing her stuff until she drops more music. I'm not gonna just stop playing it because to me it's quality music. And while I'm waiting, I could go play somebody else. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like,
right, that's real.
I'm gonna still go back to it. So it's not a concern of mine. I think it's just how you set yourself up from the beginning, to be honest.
Okay. All right. So tell us real quick, like, what do you have coming up? What's your next? Because okay, let me just make sure I'm right. You have 3 mixtapes. Did you have anything else outside of those?
I had a compilation EP back in the day, and then some singles that I dropped. Definitely, I've
Okay.
dropped "Open" and "Waiting" last year, and coming up, I am about to be dropping my next single or my first single for this year called "Mine." So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to just be dropping more music and getting back into a nice rhythm. Since I kind of got my feet back grounded from the panorama, all this, the pandemic and all this stuff, kind of get back into emotion. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, that's what's up. It's really good to see you back, because I know, like, when we were trying to schedule before, you're like, I'm not ready
Nah, I wouldn't.
to do no interview. I'm thinking to myself, like, well, we just gonna talk a little bit, but
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I truly get it. Like, sometimes you really have to be like in the right headspace to
Yeah.
make sure that you're, getting out everything that you want. And so when does this single drop?
October 24th.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm excited. I'm excited just to be back out here, back in the streets.
Yes, I'm excited to hear it. I am so, so excited to hear it. So, like, I want you to, first of all, I just want to thank, this has been great. This has been like
Oh,
wonderful. I am just like, I'm so glad that you are finally on here, and just know that you
me
can
too.
come back whenever you want. We don't even necessarily have to talk about music. Like, you can come
Okay.
back as a guest. We could just, shoot the shit, talk about whatever
Mhm.
whatever is on your mind. It don't matter.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
but I'm so glad you're here. But before I have you give out, your information and how to reach you, I want to let everybody know. Y'all already know what it is. I have to do my podcast happy hour announcement. Let's see. By the time you hear this, it'll be for the October podcast happy hour, and it's typically, I don't know exactly who's going to host it yet, but because I'm talking a little bit in advance, but it's typically the third Friday or Saturday of the month, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and 5 Pacific. I always say wherever the hell Chris is at, but anyways, and that's me. That's Audrey from All Tales Pod, Jay from Jay's Quick 3, Tamara. I be trying to hold a little girl. I can't. Let me tell you, I be thinking I can sing. I can sing. I feel like I can sing. I know I can't. I ain't gonna be able to do it like you, but that's okay. I am. And let me just tell you this too. I'm the karaoke champ. Why we talking about
Okay.
it?
Okay.
For Tamara to the Break of Dawn's her little situation that she had last year or earlier this year. I won, so I'm very proud of that. The videos and stuff is out there. The links are in the show notes. But anyway, so Tamara and Chris from Shenanigans with Friends, and we get together again once a month as a collective. We bring a piece of our show to Podcast Happy Hour. Typically have a nice crafted drink, and we just have a good time. So hope to see you guys there for the October shows. Again, everything is in the show notes. And before we get out of here, I want Great Genius to let us know how we can reach her, where we can find her, any type of inquiries, anything like that.
You can go to greatgenius.com. You can find me on, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, GRE_GENIUS. And I realized I made an error. By the time you hear this, mine will be out because it's September 24th, not October. So
Oh,
my
okay.
mistake. So yes. But hit me up, greatgenius.com, and you can find me everywhere for sure. And you're gonna hear that song. By the time you listen to this, you're gonna be rotating already.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. You know what? I can go ahead and play it after this. I can go ahead and play it after this. We can get together and I'll make sure it plays after this.
Okay.
And also, y'all, all her stuff is in the show notes for like the last, I don't know what, year and a half. Like, just scroll down. It's there. Like, I don't even have to. I'm gonna put it at the top just because you know what I'm saying, just because you're here. But every single piece of show notes or whatever, Instagram, all that stuff is her stuff is in the show notes. So it's not hard to find her at all. Make sure y'all hit up her YouTube and her SoundCloud. All that stuff is linked on her website. and enjoy it. She's a fantastic artist. And again, I'm just happy that she's here and proud that she's my sorority sister. I'll be trying to get the SARS on here. You know yes. So thanks again. And I want to just say, until y'all hear or see me again, peace.
That's my man. That's my around in my Gldn. That's my you see my inside and know what I'm feeling, know when I'm real. Cause you know I'll keep them. Laugh with you, they hate it. Oh, enemies, we all got enemies. As long as they don't come for we, then we won't make them company.